Good evening. People are just as happy as they make up their own minds to be, once said by Abraham Lincoln. Welcome to BMC News Live, presented by Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers English News. Myself, Shana Sultana, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
World Customs Organization marked its 70th anniversary. NSSA to participate in international conference. Bahrain to be the first country to hook up with Saudi Arabia's virtual hospital. 10-year jail and 10 million Saudi riyal fine for distributing adulterated food among pilgrims. India to soon roll out e-passports for citizens.
Today's news in detail. World Customs Organization marked its 70th anniversary. The World Customs Organization WCO has celebrated its 70th anniversary. The celebration was attended by top officials who were received by His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, President of Customs and WCO Chairman, and Dr. Tukunio Mikuri, Secretary General of the organization. Sheikh Ahmed welcomed the officials and highlighted the importance of the organization in supporting the customs operations of member countries. Bahrain, Kyrgyzstan set to strengthen relations, wider cooperation. Bahrain and Kyrgyzstan are set to enhance relations and expand cooperation across several areas, the Kyrgyz foreign minister has said. Talks with His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Speaker and the Minister of Foreign Affairs were highly successful, Jeanbek Kulaber said. There was full understanding and we had agreements all the way. Both our countries are committed to boosting relations and to boosting the exchange of visits at the highest levels, the minister told Bahrain news agency. Kulaber, on his first visit to the Kingdom of Bahrain, said he was very impressed by what he saw in Bahrain, its success and achievements. 2019, 2020 and 2021 laureates of UNESCO King Hamad ICT Prize honored. Under the patronage of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO held, in cooperation with the Education Ministry in Bahrain, the award distribution ceremony of the UNESCO King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa Prize for the use of information and technology, communication technologies, ICTs in education at its premises. His Majesty the King deputized Education Minister Dr. Majid bin Ali Al Naimi to attend the ceremony and present the awards to the 11th and 12th editions laureates who have not been honored due to the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, in addition to the winners of the current edition. Political Affairs Undersecretary participated in Berlin Ministerial Conference on Food Security. Undersecretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Political Affairs, Dr. Sheikh Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, participated in the Berlin Ministerial Conference entitled United for Global Food Security. The conference was organized by the German government today with the participation of foreign ministers and senior officials of the G7, the United Nations Global Crisis Response Group, and major donor countries. During the ministerial meeting, they discussed ways to advance global initiatives to address food security threats resulting from international conflicts, climate change, the consequences of COVID-19, and supply chain challenges, stressing that this crisis is multidimensional and requires a joint and effective global response that combines diplomacy, humanitarian aid, development cooperation, and agricultural policies and sustainable food. Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers, Bahrain's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
The Embassy of India organized second successive open house in physical mode on 24th June 2022, during which many consular and labor cases were resolved or noted for expedited expedited action. Ambassador began the open house by informing the members of Indian community about the Passport Seva Divas 2022, which is celebrated every year on 24th June. On the occasion, Ambassador read excerpts of Honorable External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar's message with emphasis on the word Seva as contained in the Passport Seva program, which aptly summarizes what we are doing today and where we intend to go further tomorrow. Ambassador thanked the Bahraini local authorities as well as appreciated community members, organizations and volunteers for their continued support, as a result of which a number of consular matters were resolved. Ambassador briefed them on the successful repatriation of several female domestic workers after providing them food and shelter through ICWF. This month alone, 4 housemates have been repatriated. Similarly, the case of 2 fishermen from Tamil Nadu who were stuck in Bahrain have been successfully repatriated to their hometown with embassy's intervention. Also, the long pending case of Mr. Mahmoud Mursalin was resolved. He was hospitalized due to stroke and now he has been successfully repatriated with the intervention of the embassy and ICRF. Ambassador thanked the community members for their overwhelming participation during the celebrations of various events of International Day of Yoga 2022 and also appreciated them for their continuous and dedicated participation and making celebration of IDY 2022 a grand success. While concluding, Ambassador also advised community members to observe COVID-19 appropriate behavior as per Government of Bahrain's guidelines in view of recent rise in COVID-19 cases across the world. NSSA to participate in international conference. The National Space Science Agency NSSA is set to take part in an international conference, Middle East and North Africa Space Capabilities and Security Challenges, Applications to Disaster Management. The event will be held in cooperation with NATO on June 28 and 29 in Nepal, Italy, at an invitation by the International Astronomical Federation (IAF). NSSA delegation will be headed by its Chief Executive, Dr. Mahmoud Ibrahim Al-Asiri, who will participate as a keynote speaker in the second session of the conference, themed Middle East and North Africa, Applications to Space Capabilities and Security Challenges for Disaster Management. Well-attended Gulf Radio and Television Festival hailed as a resounding success. Information Affairs Minister Ramzan bin Abdullah Al Naimi has hailed the success of the Gulf Radio and Television Festival and commended the outstanding participation of Gulf and Arab officials and media figures. The festival was held in Bahrain on June 21st to June 23 and features seminars, workshops, competitions and presentations from several companies, artists, journalists, content creators and bloggers. Deputy Prime Minister offered condolences on demise of media person Said Al-Hamad. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Infrastructure Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa offered condolences to the family of late media person and journalist Syed Abdullah Al-Hamad. He expressed deepest condolences to the family members of Al-Hamad and to the media and press community in the Kingdom of Bahrain, praying to the Almighty to bless the deceased with mercy, rest his soul in vast paradise and provide his family with patience and fortitude. Information Minister met heads of Arab Islamic Broadcasting Authorities. Minister of Information Dr. Ramzan bin Abdullah Al Naimi received Director General of the Arab States Broadcasting Union ASBU, Engineer Abdul Rahim Sulaiman, President of the Islamic Broadcasting Union IBU, Dr. Amru El Laiti, and Executive Director of Furaija Culture and Media Authority, Dr. Syed Ali Al Hamar Al Aimi. The meeting was held on the sidelines of the Gulf Radio and Television Festival, which concluded in the Kingdom of Bahrain on Thursday. The Minister of Information hailed their participation in the festival, affirming the importance of such meetings in boosting cooperation and exchanging experiences on developing the media field. He also praised cooperation between the Ministry of Information and the Arab and Islamic Broadcasting Authorities and unions, lauding keenness to participate in the Gulf Radio and Television Festival hosted by the Kingdom of Bahrain. Now we shall go for a short commercial break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain. at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back. Abu Saad Electronics crowned champions in Indian Club Cricket Tournament. With 3 balls to go, Samir hit the winning boundary in Thursday evening's final of the Indian Club Ramadan Cup 2022 to establish Abu Saad Electronics as the tournament's champions with a 3-wicket over a strong Shaheen Group team. Earlier in the evening, 2 highly competitive semi-finals saw Abu Saad Electronics squeeze past Superfire and Safety by 3 wickets, again knocking off the winning runs with 3 balls to go, and Shaheen Group and Awan Kilari's challenge by the slightly more comfortable margin of 4 wickets with an over to spare. In a 2-over playoff match for the second runners-up spot, it was Superfire and Safety who took the honours, but only just with Awan Kilari coming up 1 run short in the quick fire run race. Members of the Indian Club Bahrain Executive Committee were on hand to present the spoils to the successful teams and players as winners. The Abu Saad Electronics team claimed the winners' trophies and 250 BD, with the runners-up trophies and 150 BD going to Shaheen Group. Trophies were also awarded to the individual stars of the tournament. Man of the final Mahmoud Samir from Abu Saad Electronics. Man of the tournament, Safdar from Abu Saad Electronics. Batman of the tournament, Prashant, Shaheen Group. Bowler of the tournament, Mushtaqeen, Shaheen Group. The Indian Club Ramadan Club 2022 was organized by the Indian Club Bahrain. For further information about the Indian Club Bahrain, including club membership, future of tournaments and events, please contact the club reception on 17253157. Results for Thursday, 23rd June 2022. Semi-finals, Abu Saad Electronics 37 by 3, 5.4 overs beaten Superfire and Safety 36 all out, 6 overs by 3 wickets. Shaheen Group 32 by 2, 5 overs beaten Awan Kilari 29 all out, 6 overs by 4 wickets. Second runner playoff, Superfire and Safety 14 by 3, 2 overs beaten Awan Kilari 13 by 3, 2 overs by 1 run. Finally, Abu Saad Electronics 39 by 3, 5.4 overs beat Shaheen Group 38 by 3, 6 overs by 3 wickets. Al Hilal Healthcare organized a free medical camp and a health talk by Dr. Ashraf, general physician, regarding the topic awareness of heat stroke and heat stress at RB Hilton camp on 24th June 2022. In the event, blood sugar, blood pressure, height, weight and BMI were checked for the employees. Also, mini comprehensive coupons were distributed in the camp. Around 200 plus employees participated in the center. Frontline healthcare workers stressed. Healthcare workers in Bahrain have reported moderate to severe levels of burnout and depression as a result of their work at the front lines of the Kingdom of Bahrain's battle against the COVID-19 pandemic, a recent study has found. New strategy to implement economic ties. Bahrain Chamber is seeking to implement a comprehensive strategy to develop economic cooperation between Bahrain and various countries across the world with the aim of increasing the rate of trade exchange, enhancing investment cooperation and exchanging industrial experiences, said Chairman Samir Nas. These are great opportunities to enhance trade and investment cooperation between Bahrain and Germany, supported by bilateral ties in various fields. Quality projects a top priority. Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad and with the support of His Royal Highness Prince Salman, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, accords high priority to infrastructure projects in various sectors. Deputy Prime Minister and Infrastructure Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa said a major objective is to be able to keep pace with the demands of comprehensive and sustainable development. Tribute paid to Saudi leadership by His Majesty King Hamad. His Majesty King Hamad has praised the services and care offered to pilgrims by Saudi Arabia under the leadership of custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and Crown Prince, Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. The King was speaking as he received religious guide Colonel Ali Yusuf Al Burainin, head of the BDF Hajj delegation, and a number of officials in the delegation that will soon leave for Mecca. Bahrain to be the first country to hook up with Saudi Arabia's virtual hospital. Saudi and Bahraini health ministers underscored the importance of linking Bahrain to the Saudi virtual hospital through a network. Once an agreement is reached in this regard, Bahrain will be the first country to be linked with the hospital. Minister of Health Fahad Al-Jalajal received on Thursday his Bahraini counterpart Dr. Jalila Al-Sayed, currently on a visit to Saudi Arabia. During the meeting, they discussed a number of issues related to strengthening health cooperation between the two countries in many health fields such as medical research, emerging diseases, monitoring post-vaccine complications, and exchanging experiences. The two sides also reviewed the importance of cooperation in the field of health insurance, the health system in the two countries and its development, as well as the mobile health care experience in Bahrain. Later, the Bahraini minister toured the virtual health hospital and listened to the detailed explanation of the services provided by the hospital. She also visited the command and control center for the hospital. 10-year jail and 10 million Saudi riyals fine for distributing adulterated food among pilgrims. Saudi Arabia's public prosecution has issued a strict warning against distributing foodstuffs deemed to be harmful to health among pilgrims. Selling or distributing adulterated food items to pilgrims is strictly prohibited, is said, adding that anyone found such wrongful practices will be penalized. If found guilty, violators of food safety regulations will face imprisonment of up to 10 years and a fine of up to 10 million Saudi riyals. The violators' licenses will be revoked and they will be prevented from practicing any food-related work and activity. In addition, those found guilty by a court of law will be shamed by publishing their names in the mass media at own expense. The public prosecution noted that it undertakes investigations into allegations of food safety rules according to the Article 36 of the Food Law. Temperature crosses 50 degrees Celsius for the first time this year in UAE. The mercury crossed the 50 degrees Celsius mark for the first time this year on Thursday. According to the NCM, the highest temperature recorded in the country on the day was a sweltering 50.5 degrees Celsius in Otaid, a Dhafra region. The temperature was recorded at 2:45 p.m. At the other end of the country, Jabal Marbum in Ras Al Khaimah recorded the lowest temperature on the day, a cool 21.3 degrees Celsius at 5:15 a.m. The NCM also reported light rains in Sharjah's Diba Al Hizn on Thursday morning. According to the 5-day weather bulletin issued by the NCM, hot weather conditions will persist next week. India to soon roll out e-passports for citizens. The Passport Seva program PSP will be embarking on an upgraded version PSP v2.0 to ensure a digital ecosystem among all stakeholders, said External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. The Government of India is working to roll out e-passports that would ease international travel and enable protection against identity theft, the minister said Friday. The minister announced that the ministry's Passport Seva program PSP would be embarking on an improved and upgraded version of PSP version 2.0 to ensure a digital ecosystem among all stakeholders and offer enhanced passport services to citizens. The minister also said the Passport Seva system had been integrated with the DigiLocker system to facilitate a paperless documentation process. Bangladesh floods leave 3.5 million children needing clean water. 15 children have drowned in flash floods that swept through Bangladesh, with another 3.5 million urgently needing clean drinking water as the risk of waterborne diseases grows, UNICEF's country representative said yesterday. Cases of diarrhea have risen to 2,700 as of the middle of this week, he added. Authorities in Bangladesh and neighboring India have warned of a risk of a disease epidemic. In total, more than 4.5 million people have been stranded and dozens killed in Bangladesh, many in the worst flooding in the Sylhet region in the northeast for more than 100 years. In the eastern Indian state of Assam, Indian Air Force helicopters have been deployed to drop food and other supplies to cut off communities. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Club English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shana Sultana. Good night.